So I watched the Oscar this morning.
The Oscar goes to Michelle Yeoh.
As usual, there are snaps, there are surprises, there are moments.
What? No! What the
But overall, it was satisfying. Okay, welcome back to the Cinemalans, and as we all know, the Oscar winners have finally been announced. I'm in Korea and got the opportunity to see the Oscar live since I had no classes on that day. And first of all, congrats to all the winners. Now, I might be talking about why I prefer the other nominees to win, but I would like to say first, they have been nominated by their peers who work on the same specialization, and I truly believe that their work reflects their best effort. So once again, congrats to them. My opinion in this video is not meant to criticize any of their works. I just think that there are some more deserving than others, but overall, they have gave their best and they deserve to take that trophy home. And without further ado, I would like to start with the Best Supporting Actress.
And the Oscar goes to
Jamie Lee
And this is something that I actually do not expect. When we talk about the Oscar race for this category, it always has been Kerry Condon or Angela Bassett. Jamie Lee Curtis is rarely mentioned, and after all, compared to Stephanie Hsu, she has less screen time and plays a less important role. Though I have to say, her grumpy personality and makeup as an IRS agent will always distract us toward her. Again, as I said before in my Oscar prediction, which you could watch it on my channel, I feel that Angela's best performances are more nuanced and layered compared to her. But, maybe if not now, then when? GLC has always been a Hollywood icon, and considering her legacy, this might be the time for her to win an Oscar. After all, her performance does go against the typecast, and it's so unique to see her in this film. So congrats to you, Jamie. You finally won an Oscar. And then original score. All Quiet on the Western Front is quite an odd choice for original score. I feel like the score for the Banshees of Inisherin and Babylon are more deserving, especially Babylon, which has a sense of identity and unifying theme to the score itself. Babylon was a snub indeed, especially since most audience and critics are very rooting for it. It's quite a surprising win though for me, but Hurwitz himself has received an Oscar for his previous work. We never really know the internal campaign situation of the Oscar. Perhaps that's why All Quiet on the Western Front, Volker Bertelmann, received the Oscar. Again, I personally think it was a great score as well, but I think that Babylon is more deserving. But anyway, congratulations to you. The others, I think all went on track with my prediction. It was certainly predictable this year, but nevertheless, I am a really big fan of EAAO. So you could see that I don't really have complaints about it. If you saw my video top 10 films, then you should know how much I love EAAO. And I'm so glad that the majority of Everything Everywhere All at Once got for the awards, because they deserve. Except for Best Supporting Actress maybe. Perhaps this is the year where the majority of the award is given to the right person or to the right group. And if you have a complaint or an opinion for this about the other categories of winner, maybe you can comment right down below to let me know, because I would like to know the thoughts. But since I don't really have a complaint, I would like to highlight some of the moments in the Oscar this year, especially since I got a chance to watch it live. It sticks more to my memory as I got that pounding feeling or anticipation waiting for the winner to be announced. And here are some of the best moments that I really thought. So first, we got the two best comebacks in the history, Ki Hee Kwan and also Brendan Fraser. And first, Ki Hee Kwan.
My mom is 84 years old, and she's at home watching. Mom, I just want an Oscar.
He really moved me into tears with his speech. I mean, he's very great in EAO, and you could see his humility, his humbleness. He's really down to earth, actually. I've never seen a speech this genuine since Bong Joon-ho's Best Director acceptance, where he congratulated Martin Scorsese for the contribution that he gave to the film industry. And considering his backstory, it made his journey receiving the statue very emotional to watch. I literally holding back tears as he delivered the speech. Brendan Fraser as well. He's finally back with his performance in The Whale, which I've watched recently, and I really thought that he was fantastic to be there. And Darren Aronofsky finally gave a chance of what Fraser could really be. But then the speech, it's very joyful to see these people on stage and accept the statue with an unbelievable expression. But how could he be there?
So this is what the multiverse looks like. Oh, my goodness.
And, to see that kind of genuine expression, these two just, made a history here. And then we got also the Ruth E. Carter speech, the Wakanda Forever costume design. And actually, one thing that really strikes me so much in Ruth E. Carter's speech, she delivered as she won the costume design for Wakanda Forever. She did say about woman empowerment, but what makes this speech so personal is how she dedicated all this to her mom who had recently passed away. And, it's just so coincidental that the film she worked about is about the passing of Chadwick Boseman. And he also gave a tribute to Boseman and said, to take care of his mom. And, I think it really strikes the feeling to me, how he thanked her mom as she got the award. And then the Natu Natu dance, it's Natu Natu, man. Obviously, it delivered as usual. And then we also got the Cocaine Bear appearance.
Is this all quiet on the Western Front? Okay, that's visual effects.
Elizabeth Banks presented the best visual effects, and suddenly this Cocaine Bear, the film that she directed, appeared. And as she claimed, what Cocaine Bear would be without the visual effects team. And considering the absurd premise of the film, which I haven't seen sadly, it's quite hilarious to see the bear presented together with Elizabeth Banks. It's been so long for me since I have this kind of laugh in the Oscar. I find this actually genuinely funny. And lastly, we also got the In Memoriam that always made me move in tears, and suddenly John Travolta appears to give an opening speech before the In Memoriam section began. And he just went full emotional, delivering a reference from his own film, Grease, which also gave double meaning due to the passing of his co-star, Olivia Newton-John from Grease. While we could say that's life, people come and go, the tears of Travolta seemingly remind us that their legacy would always be immortal in our hearts. And to me, that's a very strong opening speech indeed to start the In Memoriam section. And now, before I give my opinion about the show itself, maybe you can subscribe to Cinema Now, and you can always look at for me on Thursday and also on Sunday. And now, back to the show. And as you all know, the Oscar is arguably one of the prestigious award shows. And why arguably? It was prestigious if you look at the history, as they got to give the award to the best films. But now we can all see how the Oscar has just become a political campaign since the 2010s, I guess. Maybe the 2000s even. Crash winning over Brokeback Mountain. It's been political, obviously. I'm not only talking about the encouragement for them to vote for a more diverse film instead of the best film, but you could also see the bias from recent events inside the body of voters. The controversy about Andrew Risebrough told Leslie is perhaps one of the best examples here. While there perhaps something wrong with the voting and campaign system, a film that almost has never gotten the attention before suddenly became the most discussed performance weeks before the nomination. It tells something indeed that it's all politics, not only the body work of the film that is considered. The legacy and external factor also plays a part as well. I mean, it's not really wrong to consider these things. Jamie Lee Curtis, I guess, got the Oscar because of that. But to involve politics into the voting system surely hinders the meaning of best craft put into the film. And when I watched the show, aside from waiting the awards to be announced, I felt honestly bored. Because while there's nothing wrong with giving awards to these hardworking people with a sense of fun, the show seemingly just turned into a stand-up comedy show by the hosts. Not so much about recognizing these films, even if somehow they did that through their speeches as a formality. I get it. The show needs time to set up before presenting the award. But you can't just throw a stand-up comedian in an award that should be taken as a joke. You can even see Malala being so uncomfortable with Jimmy's Kimmel question. And I appreciate them trying to experiment with new things, but obviously from the question, it has almost no relation to films at all. Governor of the Oscars should take this more seriously. Like, it need to be fun, but also serious. Recognizing the body of work as an art instead of just a live show. After all, the Oscar is and has still been the gate for recognizing films to a larger audience. You rarely see people discussing Palme d'Or or Golden Lion, but then when it comes to Oscar, people have been waiting for it. They will be like talking for like 3 and 4 months. Oh, who will win the Oscar? Oh, who will get nominated? Unfortunately, like it or not, we're living in that era. It is at the moment and still is the bridge to communicate the importance of film to the audience. While the format of the show really needs some work for me, they mostly give the prestigious award to the right person this year. Overall, most of the nominees are deserving of that nomination, and it's really something that needs to be applauded for. And I really hope that they keep giving the awards to the deserving people. I know that we shouldn't see the Oscar as a standard, but for new aspiring filmmakers, they perhaps and see the Oscar as a threshold. Trust me, I've been there. Since middle school, it is my dream to be at the Oscars at that time. And as I said, like it or not, it is still the standard that people look up to. At the very least, give these nominees and awards to the right people so that they could learn from the best what the filmmaking craft is meant to be. And that's all for me. But what do you actually really thought about the Oscar this year? Maybe it is one of the best Oscar or just meh for you? I would like to know the thoughts on the comment down below. And again, Cinema Lives will always release on Thursday and Sunday. So if you want to catch up with the recent podcast or video, you can just click the subscribe button below. And that's it, y'all. That's a short segment for today. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night.